Hey guys, today I'm going to be doing RTV number 5, and the topic for today's video is going to be my flaws, or my perceived flaws, I guess. And this question actually came from a lot of the people on Twitch TV, the people who watch my streams, often ask me things like, what do you think your flaws are? Do you have any flaws? What do you not like about yourself? What are your favorite attributes? But today I think I'm going to go with first the negative, so to speak, things that I don't like about myself as much and things that I would like to change or have changed or are working on right now or I've learned to love, So before I go into this, I'm going to break it down into two categories. One is going to be the physical flaws and the other is going to be like the personality attributes and the things that I wish I could change about myself, vices or any types of things like that that aren't necessarily viewed as good from my perspective. But first I want to add a little note in there about physical flaws and physical perfection. I know there's like a huge stigma around improving your appearance and stuff, and people who are like insecure or people who are doing it for the wrong reasons or putting themselves at jeopardy or at risk by doing elective surgeries and whatnot to try to make themselves like look a lot different. And I think while there is a media stigma there in place by people like Heidi Montag, who, does like this overnight change with like 10 surgeries, and even though she is really beautiful, and I actually think she's gorgeous after her surgery, the way she goes about it just makes her look really insecure and makes people who do it look really bad. To me, my body is something that I own and have control over, so if I don't like something, I take two routes. The first route would be try to change it. And this is, of course, within reason, within logic. There's nothing that I'm really insecure about or that makes me sad. When I look in the mirror, I'm happy because I know I'm working toward my perfect self, and I'm doing so, logically and safely. And if I can't fix the things that I don't like, I kind of look at them as, I don't know, keeping me human, for instance. Like, if there's like a little freckle or something I don't like, I'm like, it actually starts growing on me and becomes kind of adorable. I don't know. And maybe it's because I don't have any huge flaws that I perceive, but just kind of little ones. Or maybe it's just because I'm really, really logical about things in life and I'm just comfortable with myself and I can be honest about the things that I don't like. For instance, if someone comes up to me and they're like, let's see, what's something I don't like right now? Let's say your nose is too long or something. It's not going to hurt me or make me cry or go into a corner or feel uncomfortable going out because I know that's something that I already don't like about myself, and I've come to terms with it, or I've tried to change it, or I'm trying to change it, so I'm completely comfortable with it. And to me, my body, it's like making myself better through exercise, diet, plastic surgery, or makeup, or just, doing different beauty regimens. It's the same thing to me as someone like working on their car. It's like that personal to me. It's something that is a hobby to me and something that I enjoy a lot. So it's kind of personal to me. And like, I mean, people say like, oh, plastic surgery, that is so taboo, that is so like harmful to you, you're electing to get like cut open and stuff. And it's like, if you weigh the risks and you know that they're very low, and mostly with cosmetic surgery, to be honest, all of the risks are pretty much aesthetic. There aren't really many risks other than overdosing from anesthesia that can really like hurt you unless you're doing way too many surgeries or something that you really shouldn't be doing. And I trust my surgeon and I trust myself to know what's good and what's not good for me. And I mean, think about it, like you are 10 million times more likely to die in a car crash or a plane crash than you are to have any kind of problems with surgery. And I've never ever had a problem, and it's really just a minor discomfort. And so like looking at it from like a knowledgeable perspective, as opposed to a perspective where the society has kind of told you that that's the bad thing and like natural is in and stuff. You kind of have to make your own opinion there, and that's what I did. So let's actually stop babbling and talk about the things that I perceive as my flaws. So the first thing, my hair is red. What the hell? I'm supposed to be a blonde. I mean, think about it. Tara not being a blonde. I mean, I like the red, and I think it's fun and, different, and that's why I did it, because I like being spontaneous and trying new things and seeing how different things look on me and just having, like, temporary changes. That's amazing, but I definitely love the blonde better. The next one is that I'm naturally blonde. Now, this is good in that I can bleach my hair without actually, like, losing all of it, because if you see a platinum blonde, right, and you see her with long hair, 99.9% of the time she has hair up to here and she has extensions, and that just looks terrible to me. I've never used extensions, so in that aspect I'm actually really grateful to have naturally blonde hair. but at the same time my eyebrows are blonde, my eyelashes are blonde. Without makeup I look like a little like sweet blonde girl, and that's something I never really liked. Plus I get the whole like kind of excuse me, kind of fair skin type complexion and stuff. And so that's why I don't really like it as much. My lips don't really have an outline on the top. That's something that's always bothered me. Now I have had my lips done before and stuff, but still without makeup there isn't really like a defining line. You know how you see some people who have really flipped out top lips and they have a really defining edge there? I don't really have that. It kind of just like goes into the rest of my face and isn't really like as prominent as I would like. And I really like big luscious lips, so even though I like mine, that's still something that I would change if I had the power to do so. The next thing would be my legs. I have always hated my legs. Okay, first of all, they're short, which is fine because I like being short in general, but they're short and they kind of look a little short. I'm like a little short girl with short legs, and they've always like, that's been the place where I gain my weight the quickest. So like even when I'm really like gauntly skinny up top, I have like kind of more muscular looking legs on the bottom. And when you're standing from a profile angle, you know, from the side, they have kind of a sweep like I've been working out. And I don't do squats or anything like that, because when I do, it accentuates it a lot. And I would like to have, you know, like kind of more dainty looking legs and knees, but that's just something I kind of want to work on and see like the different workouts and different like fitness regimens I can do to maybe like get the perfect amount of muscle to like thinness ratio. So I'm working on that, of course. I love going to the gym. My butt as well. I'm trying to figure out, I like my butt because no matter how skinny I get, it's still round. It never gets like really flat. You know how flat butts are kind of like, but it also gains a lot of weight quicker than my upper body, which is kind of silly. I have some freckles. Now, I don't really like freckles, but I have, if you can see, just a couple freckles, and for some reason that just really bothers me. And like when I tan, I get a couple more, and then when I stop tanning, they go away, and it's just like, I hate you, freckles! I used to have moles on either sides of my neck that were kind of big moles, and I had those removed, and I also had a mole on my lip here, and I had that removed. It was no big deal, easy peasy, dermatology stuff that I got done at my plastic surgeon. But for me, moles aren't really, I don't really like them that much, and because I'm, you know, Irish and Welsh, I have the more fair skin, so freckles do happen to me, and that kind of sucks. My lip piercing is my biggest regret in life ever. Getting this lip piercing, and then when I got my lips done, the lip piercing kind of closed, and I was kind of not liking it in the first place. It just wasn't me, and it kind of made me look more rocker, and it was actually like hurting my teeth, my gums. It was rubbing on my gums and like having them recede, so that kind of sucked. So I just eventually took it out and did not want to redo it. When I relax my face, like when I'm concentrating or something, I don't like the way it looks. It's like that. You see, I don't like that. So I'm always subconsciously like raising my eyebrows and doing, you know, kind of a sexy face that is pretty natural to me, but sometimes when I catch myself not doing it anymore, it's like, ah, you're so ugly, Tara, stop it. I wish I was shorter, maybe like 3 or 4 inches shorter. I don't know. I really like little short girls you can just pick up and throw around during sex that are all tiny compared to like any guy, even the shorter ones. And of course being like thinner, that also helps. Then right now I'm kind of getting back to my favorite fitness body because I want to get back into fitness modeling and stuff, so that's another thing that currently is a flaw to me. I have lines on my face in certain light, and this webcam is a perfect example of that. If you look at me in any other place, I don't have these, and I don't have like this, but it's just the fact that I have big cheeks, and like, see, when you move around they get more or less prominent. Like up here now I have a lot of lines. It's just kind of weird. A weird thing that I've noticed from modeling is that different lights affect my face differently. So like really dramatic light doesn't look as good on me. It doesn't make me look as youthful, even though I actually don't have any like wrinkles or anything. So that's kind of something that can be annoying from a model standpoint, especially. My nose from the profile looks too long, in my opinion. I don't really like my profile in general. So here it is, I'll show it to you. This is my profile, and I don't really like it too much. I don't know why. I think there's something wrong with like the composition of how it looks. But I'm thinking maybe it might be something to do with my chin, because my chin kind of is like squishy. And I feel like if I removed the squishy and then got an actual chin, I might look better. But at the same time, I might look kind of older, so I'm kind of holding off on that and waiting to see how my face ages and stuff before I decide to do anything like that. I don't like my ears. I have really... Oh! I have really like sticky outy ears. I don't know if you can tell, but they're big and they stick out and they look really silly. So I don't like them too much. But they started to grow on me a little bit, to be honest. Like, I think they're cute, and when I wear my hair up, I'm like, oh, look at my big ears, I'm an elephant, you know, monkey, whatever. I don't like my voice. That's just something that goes without saying. I feel like I could have a more feminine, cute voice, or, I don't know, a better voice, right? Fingers look chubby. I feel like my fingers always look chubby. I've always really liked when you see a skinny girl and she has like really delicate looking fingers. I feel like I've never had that. So that's one thing. My forehead feels too big sometimes. Like right now it's okay, but like if I take a picture with my my phone or like a webcam or something at a certain angle, it looks a little bit too tall compared to the structure of my face. And the way I see things from a beauty and aesthetic perspective is everything kind of has a scientific meaning for being the way it is. Like, I like little noses on oval faces with big eyes and big lips, and it's kind of like how the face all just sits together is what makes it look good. And the last thing about my appearance that I consider a flaw is that my hair is kind of thin and it doesn't curl. So being really white, I have thin hair that's like naturally blonde and really like fine and like straight. And you know how long this is going to actually stay in my hair? Probably like an hour or two before it just falls flat. And if I'm trying to do like really crazy ringlet hair, it absolutely just won't stay for like more than 5 minutes. It sucks. So curls don't usually stay in my hair. Things in general don't usually stay in my hair. But it's amazing that I am born with naturally perfectly straight hair, that I don't have to straighten every day. The thought of straightening hair every day kind of makes me go, ah. So I'm really glad that I have that. And I'm definitely grateful for all of the amazing things that I do have about myself that I like. And I'll probably do an RTV based on that as well. But this is just kind of a fun way to like let you guys know a little bit more about myself. And nothing that, like I've said before, nothing that I consider a flaw. It never makes me sad. It's just something that motivates me, and it's really motivating, and really, I'm just really overall happy with myself. You know, I'm happy that I have all the you know, fortunate things that I do, and I'm working toward getting better and better every day. So, as far as personality and non-visible things, my speech. Now, I've always been afraid of doing videos and stuff, and it's not necessarily that I was afraid. Like, I've never have stage fright or anything. I mean, I've been up on stage at like concerts, like dancing or doing like huge events or like huge things with 1 million people, and that's never been scary to me. But just like having to present myself and trying to like show myself as an intelligent person has really been difficult for me, because I'm a writer and I write really well. Not to toot my own horn, but I really think that I've gotten a lot of praise throughout my life because of my writing. In writing class, I actually was able to like, you know, like when you're in middle school or high school, and you have to do an outline, and then you have to do this and that, and then you can finally piece together your, you know, writing piece. And they always want to make sure that you do it in that order when you're younger, so that you like remember to do that and have that ingrained in your brain. With me, the teacher would always be like, "We know you write good. You can just skip that and go ahead and do your own creative writing, you know, process." And they treated me more like I was a student teacher than they did an actual student. And I used to write my roommate's papers, and he's 2 years older than me, and he was in AP English. So when I was a freshman or sophomore, I was writing senior level papers like easily. It's pretty awesome. And I love writing just creatively. I write for Impulse Gamer, and I'm going to start writing for something at CBS Local, Man Cave. And I feel like I can convey like my point and my intelligence through writing so much more. But when I get on camera and I'm talking, I'm saying I sound like a valley girl, and at the same time as me just not liking it, I also don't want to enforce that stupid model stereotype. So that is why I kind of didn't want to do it, because I wanted to show the world that I was intelligent, and I can do that through text. I can't do that through talking. But I'm working on it, and I'm actually going to take speech classes, and I'm really excited to do so, because I want to be better at it. And I think through doing videos like this and doing streaming and stuff, I am actually getting better. And one physical flaw I didn't talk about, I also don't like the way I look when I talk. See, like, I'm talking right now, and I'm like, oh, I don't like the way I look. But if I'm just like quiet, being cute, and doing like pointless videos, I think I look much better. Like if I'm just like, I feel like that's much cuter than when I start opening my mouth. I have literally no self-control, like at all. It's really hard for me to stick to a diet or do things that I don't want to do. It's really hard for me to get motivated to do work, and it sucks because like mostly owning my own business and like making my own hours, it's really hard for me to stick to them. I'll just be like, I can just do that later. And like if there's a guy I really like, I'll go for it. It's just like I'm really passionate, and like I'll just get into something, or I'll just do whatever I want pretty much, and kind of like throw caution to the wind. And that's something that I really wish I was better at, so that I could be leaner, fitter, and healthier, and smarter overall in life choices. Fortunately, that hasn't really been a huge problem, other than just, like eating sweets when I shouldn't. And I'm hoping it stays that way. I don't really take change very well. Just like big changes kind of freak me out. Like right now, switching from Wings of Liberty to HOTS, I'm like Heart of the Swarm, which is a StarCraft thing if you guys don't know anything about video games, but it's like a whole new set of like, rules and builds and meta, and I'm just like really nervous that I'm going to start sucking again and not being able to adapt to that change. So stuff like that kind of freaks me out. Like big moves, traveling out of the country, all that stuff kind of gives me the heebie-jeebies. And although I like to be spontaneous and out there and just do everything, just go for it, at the same time I have this kind of like fear that I'm not going to be able to adjust as well as I should. I suck at math, and some topics I just can't grasp very well. Like things that are easy for other people are sometimes really, really hard for me, and I feel like sometimes I'm almost dyslexic, where I start thinking backwards, and the way I comprehend things is totally different than most people. Like the way I remember rules of math or algebra or geometry, the way I remember everything is pretty much kind of weird. Like, the whole thing where I did the RTV with my weird superpower, where I can recite all of the 50 states in alphabetical order. The way I learned that is just kind of different from the way other people would. So that's sometimes challenging in from an academic standpoint. See, I'm babbling again, where I can't really pick up like terminologies and things that people do the right way. But at the same time, I'm really great at some other subjects and stuff. I often do really blonde things that make me look really stupid. Like, even if I'm really, really good at something, there will always be those blonde moments where I'm just like, oh, wow, I can't believe I did that. And then there's that epiphany, that realization that I just did something completely retarded. And I'm like, oh. And like everyone's like, oh, Tara's such a blonde, she's so stupid. And it's like, yeah, I don't think I'll ever get that out of my system, even with the change of hair color. I'm sometimes awkward in situations, or at least I've been told. I don't know, like just little interactions, just little things. I kind of have that nerd-esque awkwardness occasionally, and I don't really know if that's a flaw or if it's just kind of endearing to other people. It depends on the way you view me. If you don't like me, it's probably annoying. If you do like me, it's probably endearing. I don't know. Just a little thing to throw out there. And the last thing is, I don't know the home keys on the keyboard, so I suck at typing and playing StarCraft and doing anything like that, and that's why I've kind of shied away from computer games. Because I remember when I was in computer class, and everyone else was learning the home keys and how to do web design, which I am pretty good at, by the way, I was like smoking pot in the back of the room and like talking and chatting and gossiping and being a stupid high school kid that I was, and I never could really like grasp it. And for some reason, me learning certain things, like I said, that's just been a difficult. And I've been actually playing those little like games, the QWERTY games, where I'm like playing on the keyboard trying to learn. And for the most part, I can actually still type without looking at the keyboard at all. But sometimes I have to glance down, like occasionally, because I lose my spot on the keyboard and I like move it. I'll be like ASDF for video games, or I'll be like QWER for League of Legends, and it just kind of sucks. And then I also have small hands as well, so it's like harder for me to play things like StarCraft. So that is my last flaw, and that's probably the one I want to work on the most, because it'll make me better at computer games, which I love, and, better at esports. But I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'm sure there are a couple more. I just don't remember them. But yeah, that's in essence all I think. And remember, it's not a negative thing. I am not at all sad about any of these things. It's just kind of motivating and interesting to think about. I mean, everyone has flaws, right? If you say that you don't, then you are probably way too conceited. Okay, until next week, guys, thanks so much for watching the RTVs. Please subscribe to the channel and let me know down in the bottom what you thought about the video and if you have any more topics you'd like me to cover. I have some really fun and interesting and exciting topics in the near future, so stay tuned. Love you guys. Bye.